Hello, good evening to you. Welcome to Business. The Bank of Ghana says the decision to close down 7 banks, though painful, was the best option to help clean up the mess within the banking sector. The second deputy governor of the central bank, Elsie Awadzi, spoke at the just-ended Joy Business Financial Services Forum held in Accra.
The forum, organized by Joy Business under the theme The Changing Tide of Ghana's Financial Sector, the cause, the cost and the cleanup, is aimed at bringing the regulator and stakeholders together to brainstorm on the ongoing reform in the financial sector. Second Deputy Governor Mrs. Elsie Awadzi said the cleanup was very necessary to make the industry strong.
For the future, and in order that this economy also gets the resources needed to move forward. So what we've had to do in the recent past, over the last year and a half, has been difficult. It's been painful. But what we found as challenges that were plaguing our financial system, as a result of which we could not see the strength and the resilience that we wanted, had to be addressed one way or the other. There were a number of options that were open to anyone who was at the helm of affairs. The first option was do nothing and expect things to, solve, to be resolved by themselves, some way, somehow, magically, And that didn't seem to be a good option.
Mrs. Awadzi disclosed that the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, has received enough documentation to allow them prosecute directors and all those who are responsible for the collapsed banks as the central bank continues to clean up. President of the Ghana Bankers Association, Alhassan Andani, noted the recent cleanup in the banking sector has rather ensured the safety of thousands of depositors. Mr. Andani said the cleanup measures should whip up confidence of the public in the financial sector.
So because banks are officially regulated and sort of supervised by the Bank of Ghana, our depositors were 100% protected. So if you have other operators in the industry who also deal with clients and they are not properly regulated, so those clients probably might suffer some losses, especially on the deposit side. The middle one, which is the assets, is for the banks to take the hit. If a bank creates a bad asset and cannot recover that asset, of course, its shareholders will lose the capital that they put into the business, they will lose whatever reserve they built in the business, and eventually probably lose the business, as we've seen with the fold-up of most of these financial institutions.
The high interest on loans has been a subject of concern for bank customers. Deputy Finance Minister Charles Edubuahin, on his part, said the establishment of the agency would help depositors make informed decisions.
And so that just tells you where the market is going, so now you can do your microfinance and microcredit via these kind of platforms, which requires very few bricks and mortars, and still be able to maintain an NPL ratio of under 10%, and we need to put in place the systems and the regulations to be able to guide this kind of new ways of putting credit into the system. So those are some of the policies that we are very keen to support and encourage. We're also very keen to support issues about setting up a credit rating agency so that people can start pricing their loans appropriately.
In a related development, the Bank of Ghana says it will soon close down savings and loans companies and microfinance institutions that are challenged and are unable to pay depositors' finance. Elsie Awadzi says government is almost through with an agreement with the World Bank to secure some funding to pay back customers who might lose their deposits.
And yet, in another development, Deputy Minister of Finance Charles Edubuahin has disclosed that government has nothing to do with the gold dealership firm Men's Gold. He said the operating licenses for the company has been revoked by the Securities and Exchange Commission, making it a non-existent firm. Charles Edubuahin was responding to a question by participants at the Financial Services Forum.
From what I understand, Men's Gold came under the SEC regulations, and what they were doing was considered to be trading, and they did not have a license to trade. So in the current capacity of what they were doing, their license has been pulled, and they have not been able to provide any proof and evidence of why it should be reinstated. So as far as I'm concerned, from what I understand from the SEC, they are not allowed, or they do not have a license to trade and therefore indulge in the business that they were doing. However, nothing prevents them from paying depositors back their money.
And the second Deputy Governor, Elsie Awaji, has also been defending the decision by government not to bail out customers of the gold dealership firm. She noted that customers who went ahead to do business with the company did so at their own risk.
Of Men's Gold and on what we felt, what our advice to the public. We did that. And we also stated that anybody who dealt with them did that at their own risk. Now, the matter is in court, and I won't say more about it because, as you know, Men's Gold has the Bank of Ghana and the SEC in court over the current state. And so we'll leave it to the judges to deal with. But let me just say that we had issued ample public notices about it.
And away from the Financial Services Forum, the 2018 Cosmos Innovation Center Agritech Challenge has ended with 5 teams benefiting from a business support package worth over $500,000. Team Tech Shelter and Profish walked away with the ultimate cash prize of $50,000 seed capital as the ultimate winners of the 2018 edition. Joy Business's Karen Dodu was at the Investment Award ceremony and has come through with this report.
It was an exciting moment for the winning teams, especially the double winners of the ultimate prize, Lojano and Tech Shelter. Whilst Lojano presented a platform which facilitates the sale and delivery of fresh fish in bulk, Tech Shelter offered technological support to greenhouse farmers.
The recipients for Cosmos Energy Seed Funding goes to Profish and
this year, the KIC program attracted additional investment of $120,000 from 2 of its program partners, DAI and the Meltwater Entrepreneurial School of Technology, MEST. They both funded the remaining 3 teams, Soil Solutions, Quidex and Growth Factor. For some teammates of the remaining team who did not win, they just couldn't hold back their tears of disappointment. Guest speaker for the occasion, who was a member of the ideation team, Abinamwa, called on the private sector to help instill innovation in the youth to help transform Ghana.
Government and the private sector need to plan today for how to actively engage our young population and equip them to be problem-solving, opportunity-enhancing entrepreneurs. The Cosmos Innovation Center has risen to this challenge, and proof of the success of this model is the other private sector organizations willing to partner with Cosmos to develop, coach, and nurture more Ghanaian youth into entrepreneurs. This is what empowering young people is about.
As the 2018 Agritech Challenge ends, applications for the next edition are already out. Country Manager of Cosmos Energy Ghana, Joe Mensah, explains how young entrepreneurs can make the best out of the opportunity.
The young people out there who are looking at this, I encourage them all to participate. You will walk in with some anxiety and trepidation, but when you come, we will help you get rid of all of that so that you can really take the principles and learn. And as you heard from the testimony that people were giving up here, the whole process of 9 months that they've been with us, it's changed their lives. Things that they didn't really get in their formal education setting. And they have unlearned and learned something new. And that was very, very touching to hear that from the young ones.
Registration for the next edition will run through to the 30th of November. For Joy Business, Karen Dodu.
And that will be it for Business Tonight on Joy News Prime. Many thanks for your attention. There's more business news for when you log on to www.myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. Have a good evening.